All right, are you ready to dive in today? We're tackling how to make your website work harder for you by boosting revenue.
Music to my ears.
We're digging into this document someone sent us called Interactive Elements Made Easy, full tutorial in 50codes.pdf. And let me tell you, it sounds like someone out there is ready to ditch those pesky ads.
Yeah, this definitely has the feeling of someone who's been wrestling with AdSense for a while and maybe isn't seeing the results they hoped for.
Totally. They even come right out and say it. They call the beginning of the document the AdSense struggle, which I think a lot of us can relate to.
For sure, it's like you put these ads up hoping they're the magic bullet, but then it's like trying to water your lawn with a squirt gun.
And the worst part is you don't even realize how bad it is until you see hard numbers. They actually mentioned that some people are making 2 cents per visitor with ads.
Ouch. That's gotta hurt. And the thing is, it's not just about low click-through rates, which we all know are a problem. It's also things like ad blindness.
Oh yeah, our eyes are trained to just completely skip over them now.
Exactly. And on top of that, some people think that having tons of ads on your site can actually hurt your SEO. Search engines want to send people to high-quality sites with relevant content, not just a bunch of ads.
Makes sense. It's like trying to sell a gourmet meal in a dingy gas station. You need the right packaging and presentation.
That's a good way to put it. And that's where this whole idea of interactive elements comes in.
Right. Ditch the passive, blend into the background ads, and create something that actually gets people engaged and interested in what you have to offer.
And what I find really interesting is that the document argues this approach solves the exact problems we were just talking about.
Makes sense. If something's interactive, you almost have to pay attention, right?
Right. But it's not just about being flashy. It's about giving people something valuable and relevant to do. So instead of ignoring an ad, they're clicking, engaging, and hopefully converting into customers or clients.
Okay, I'm starting to see the light here, but how do we know this stuff actually works? I mean, are there real-world examples of this?
That's where things get really juicy. The document dives into some case studies of websites that use these tactics and saw some incredible results. And the coolest part, these are all from different niches, so it's not like this only works for one specific type of website.
Ooh, okay, now you're speaking my language. Let's hear about some of these success stories.
So one example they talk about is a website that does domain appraisals.
Like telling you how much your website name is worth.
Yep. And they found that by using interactive elements, things like strategically placed buttons that say, get your free valuation, they saw way more people engaging with their domain sale offers.
So instead of just hoping someone stumbles across what they're selling, they're putting it right in front of them in an engaging way.
Exactly. It's about understanding what your audience wants in this case, to know how much their domain is worth, and then using interactive elements to guide them towards that goal.
Okay, I'm hooked. What else you got?
Another really interesting one was a website all about, get this, the Bible.
Now we're talking about a Bible website. Not exactly the first thing that comes to mind when I think interactive.
Right. But that's the beauty of it. It can work for pretty much anything. So this website used interactive images of different Bible editions, kind of like a visual menu.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
And get this, they had something crazy, like a 99% click-through rate on those images.
99%. How is that even possible?
It's all about understanding your audience. If someone's on a Bible website, chances are they're interested in, actually seeing different versions of the Bible.
So instead of just telling them about it, you're letting them interact with it directly.
Exactly. It's like the difference between reading a restaurant menu and actually looking at pictures of the food.
Okay, I can see how that would be way more effective.
And then there's another example. This one's about lottery numbers.
Lottery numbers. Now that sounds about as far from interactive as you can get.
You'd think so, right?
Yeah.
But they did something super simple but clever. They added a drop-down menu where people can pick different lottery dates.
Okay, but what's so interactive about that?
Well, for one thing, almost every single visitor to this site used that drop-down menu.
Really? So it's like this tiny little thing that makes a huge difference.
And here's the kicker. By strategically placing affiliate links around that drop-down menu, they were able to make a ton of money.
Hold up, back up a sec. For those of us who don't speak marketing jargon, what exactly is affiliate marketing?
Oh, right. Basically, it means you're recommending other people's products or services on your website.
So if someone clicks your link and buys something, you get a cut.
Exactly. So this lottery website probably partnered with companies that sell lottery tickets or something like that.
So someone picks their dates in the drop-down, sees an offer for lottery tickets, and bam, they've made a sale without being pushy about it.
You got it. And that's one of the big takeaways from this document. Find that sweet spot between offering something cool and interactive, A&D, something that actually provides value to your audience.
Okay, I'm convinced interactive elements are amazing, but how do we actually do this? Where do we even start?
Well, that's where those 50 codes in the document title come in handy.
Ah, yes, the secret sauce.
Exactly. The document goes through a whole bunch of different interactive elements, from really simple ones to more complex stuff, and they even give you the code to put them on your own website.
Music to my ears. What kind of things are we talking about here?
Well, they mentioned search boxes, which seem pretty basic, but
But aren't they kind of essential for any website these days?
totally. But here's the thing. They're not just for helping people find stuff on your site.
Yeah.
You can actually use the data from those searches to figure out what your audience is really looking for.
So it's like getting a sneak peek into their brain and seeing what makes them tick.
Precisely.
Mm.
And once you know what they want, you can tailor your content and your offers to give them exactly that.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all ties together.
And it doesn't stop there. They also talk about drop-down menus, which, as we saw with the lottery example, can be surprisingly powerful.
Yeah, I definitely underestimated those little guys.
They're great for sites that have a lot of content because they make it way easier for people to find what they're looking for without getting overwhelmed.
It's all about making the experience smooth and enjoyable.
Exactly. And then there are those little interactive elements that you might not even think about. Things like icons and buttons.
Oh yeah, those little things can make a big difference.
A well-placed button with a strong call to action can do wonders for your conversion rates.
It's like giving people a gentle nudge in the right direction.
And speaking of nudges, we can't forget about gamification.
Now that's something I can get behind. Who doesn't love a little friendly competition?
The document talks about using things like progress bars, badges, and even quizzes to make a website more engaging and fun.
It's like the difference between reading a boring textbook and playing a video game.
Exactly. But here's the thing. It's not enough to just throw these interactive elements up on your site and hope for the best. You've got to be smart about it.
You mean like track how well they're working and all that?
You got it. It's like releasing a bunch of pigeons with tracking devices. You want to see where they're going and what's holding their attention.
You got to keep an eye on those pigeons, make sure they're not getting lost on the way.
Exactly. And luckily, there are tools out there that can help us do just that. The document mentions one called Crazy Egg.
Crazy Egg. Okay, I'm listening.
So it's basically like being able to see your website through the eyes of your visitors. You can see things like where they're clicking, how far they're scrolling, and even how long they're hovering their mouse over certain elements.
Wow, that's pretty insightful. You can see what's grabbing their attention and what's just not doing it for them.
Yep, no more guessing. And if you want to get even more granular, they suggest using custom short URLs for different interactive elements.
Custom URLs, so like a different link for each button or drop-down menu?
Exactly. That way you can track exactly which elements are bringing in the most traffic or leading to the most conversions.
So instead of just looking at the big picture, you're breaking it down and seeing which individual pieces are performing the best.
It's all about data, my friend. The more data you have, the better decisions you can make.
Makes sense. So it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. You've got to be constantly testing and tweaking these interactive elements to make sure they're working as hard as they can.
You got it. And that's something this document really emphasizes. It's an ongoing process. But here's something else that's really interesting. While they talk about interactive elements as an alternative to AdSense.
Right, ditch the ads, bring on the engagement.
Exactly. But they also touch on the idea that maybe, just maybe, these two things can actually work together.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying we can have our cake and eat it too? Keep the ads and use interactive elements?
I think it's definitely worth considering. It's all about finding creative ways to weave them together.
Okay, now you've got me thinking, how would that even work? Got any examples?
Well, imagine you have an interactive quiz on your website.
Love quizzes.
And based on someone's answers, you show them different affiliate offers that are relevant to their interests.
Ooh, so it's like personalized advertising, but way less annoying because it's actually useful.
Exactly. Or let's say you have a lead magnet like a free ebook or checklist.
A classic way to get those email subscribers.
Right. But instead of just having a static PDF, you could make it interactive, like a checklist where people can check things off as they go, or a calculator that gives them personalized results.
Okay, that's pretty cool. It's like taking something that's already working and giving it a turbo boost.
Precisely. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this whole deep dive. It's time to stop thinking of your website as just a place to put information and start thinking of it as an experience.
Create something engaging, interactive, and fun, and people will not only stick around longer, but they'll be way more likely to become loyal customers or clients.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, folks, there you have it. If you're looking for a way to boost those website revenues, ditch the boring old ads and embrace the power of interactive elements.
It's time to get creative, get strategic, and start building websites that people actually want to spend time on.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It's been a blast.
Absolutely. Until next time, happy optimizing.